What's up, people? So today, chapter 24, and holy shit, that's all I have to say. Perfect. The way Suzanne Collins wrote this chapter was perfect. Because let me just say, I was wondering, how exactly is, PETA and, like it seems kind of anticlimactic just to okay, now we just have to kill Kato, and then we kill him, then we go home. You know what I'm saying? It seems kind of anticlimactic. Like I said, so it just didn't seem like it was going to be that exciting, and not really looking forward to okay, basically they find some way to kill Kato, whoop-de-doo, the end of the Hunger Games, great. I wasn't really looking forward to that. But holy shit. The way she set this up, I did not even see it coming at all. Never saw it coming. Okay, let me just get into this chapter. So basically, PETA just killed Foxface accidentally, and that's basically all that's happening. And they're trying to find a way, maybe we can kill Kato. They're running around, and it's basically just trying to figure out how they're going to find Kato, kill him, and what they're basically going to do to survive. And they're wondering about whether or not the game makers are going to put them closer together somehow, like they did with the fire. And some things I think that are pretty funny I want to pick at is how Katniss is it dawns on me that I haven't been very nice to PETA today. Really, it dawns on you today. He should have dawned on you every day, because you've never been nice to PETA, you sociopath. Okay, so that's just funny. That's just Katniss being Katniss. But and it's interesting that throughout the before I noticed the details, and I wish I would have pointed it out, but they keep talking about how there seems to be less and less animals around. There seems to be less and less fish. There seems to be less and less of the substance. And obviously, I was like, it seems to me like that's not a coincidence. And at first I was thinking, maybe the game makers are kind of trying to get them to get out of there because they're trying to strip all the food that they can get, so they have to move. It forces them to move, and that's exactly what they're doing, because the stream, the water, their water source is empty of food, empty of fish. There's nowhere to hunt, and everything's getting less and less every day. And I think that was the reason for the rain. Maybe, I'm not sure. It could be to kind of draw out the animals, maybe. But it's interesting, and it's even more interesting that there's something saying here. It says the wind is blowing steadily to the west. Now, if you remember, in the Hunger Games, arena. Okay, I'm pretty sure that in the north, there were the cliffs where Thresh was, and south was where the forest is, kind of where they are. So if the wind's blowing from the west, it's almost like it's trying to hint at them to go back to the lake. Or at first I was like, maybe it's trying to say maybe the game makers are trying to make Kato come to them, because it's the blowing to the west. Maybe that's where they are. But I think I look back and I think that the wind is actually blowing towards the lake. So I think that it's the way of the game makers trying to make Katniss and PETA go to the lake. They eventually figure it out, but they didn't use the wind as a detail. And it's interesting about how they, how they killed Foxface and everything. They're kind of trying to figure out, do they feel good about it? Because it's wow, we just killed a little kid. When I gotta say that her death was very anticlimactic. I thought it was gonna be something interesting, or it just seems random. Why was she even there? She should have died a lot earlier. I think. It's kind of dumb. She didn't really do anything. That impacted the story. Besides a little dance. And same thing with the District 10 boy. She mentioned, Suzanne Collins pointed out this character. They pointed out Kato. She pointed out Kato, Rue, the District 10 boy, and then Foxface. And you're thinking all those ones are going to be significant later on. Why would she only point out those 4 tributes for now? But the District 10 boy, we don't even hear about him. He just dies. We don't even, just somewhere in the background, nothing. And Foxface just dies. Nothing really. So I guess she did serve a purpose that we learned about the berries, but I think you could have done that a lot easier. Just look at these berries. This is what they are. Okay, put them away. I don't know. It's okay. It's whatever. So let's go on. And it's funny she's crying about Thresh and everything, how he died. Or I think that happened last chapter. I just wanted to mention that. I forgot about that. And I think it's kind of interesting that Katniss cries for him. I don't know. I think it's cool that she did that, actually. So anyway, they're at the lake. They finally get to the lake, and he's Peeta and her are sitting there, kind of like, let's have Kato come out in the open. We'll just kill him. You know what I'm saying? And we finally get to see Kato. And let me just say that I was kind of disappointed when I read it. This is at first. I was like, okay, so Kato's just gonna come out of the blue and start fighting them. That seems kind of. I mean, like, okay, whatever. It's the end of the book, but it's like, okay, they're gonna fight and then they're gonna win. The only way to really make that interesting is one of them died, and I really don't want to see Peeta die. Katniss, okay, but but the way it just blew my mind, because I was just like, what? Oh my god. So let me just try and describe what happens here. So basically, she sings the Mockingjay song, Rue's song, not the one that she sung to Rue, but just Rue's little 4-note thing, and then they'll start overlapping, and it sounds beautiful. All of a sudden, the Mockingjays just stop, and they just start, freaking squealing, and crying out like it's like a huge alarm, and then all of a sudden you see Kato just bolting out of the woods, just going a straight beeline straight for him. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool, kind of interesting. I was like, yeah, and he's just running straight towards him, and Katniss, launches a bow right at his chest, and it bounces off of him, and then he just keeps fucking like bolting, and then you're thinking, okay, here we go, they're gonna fight, and he just runs right past them, runs right past both Katniss and Peeta. Right by him. I think that's hilarious. I think it's funny how they're all like, they're fighting poses, ready to fight Kato, and he just poof, right past him. And then that's when she realizes, wait a minute, he's running from something. And then she turns around, and sure enough, fucking these giant creatures, come out of nowhere, out of the forest where Kato's running from. And I don't know if I mentioned Kato has body armor. I think I said that. I think that's actually what he got from the game makers. Which is kind of cool, because I bet you it showed, if they were to show it in the movie, it's probably like Kato and Clove thinking, like, how can we deal with Katniss's arrows? And then the game maker's like, oh, hey, come to the feast, we'll give you what you need to, and then like, oh, body armor. So anyway, yeah, that was intense. I did not see this coming. Fucking giant beasts, mutations. That's crazy. I actually read a little bit into the other chapter just because I wanted to kind of know what it was. And apparently, like giant werewolves. But anyway, that's my chapter 24. You know what? I'm gonna finish reading chapter 25, then I'll do that. Okay, so I'll be right back. And yes, that is my review. It's a very short review compared to my other ones, and I'll upload another one shortly.